Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The first, let me introduce myself. My name is Aditya Bagas Noruda, and my last number is 36. Okay, so in here I will give the answer about question in public speaking midterm test. Okay, the first, why is it important for an informative speaker to maintain accuracy and clarity when presenting factual information? So the answer is accuracy and clarity are the foundational pillars of an effective informative speech. Accuracy builds credibility when an audience trusts that your information is correct and well researched. They are more likely to listen and accept what you say. Presenting even one piece of false information can cause the audience to doubt your entire message. Clarity is essential for comprehension. The main goal of an informative speech is to educate. If you use confusing jargon or disorganized structure or fake language, the audience cannot process or retain the information, and the speech fails its primary purpose. And then the second question is, how do audience engagement technique like rhetorical question or stories enhance the effectiveness of an informative speech? The answer is audience engagement technique transform a speech from a passive lecture into an active share experience. Okay, so if rhetorical question, this question prompt international reflection, making the audience member active participant in the topic. Instead of just receiving information, they begin to connect it to their own experience and perspective, which significantly boosts retention and interest. And then if stories or anecdote, humans are wired for narrative. A story can take abstract data or a complex concept and make it relatable and memorable. Then a story creates an emotional connection, helping the audience care about the information and understand its real world significance. And then the third question, compare and contrast informative and persuasive speech in terms of purpose, structure, and delivery. Okay, the first, the purpose. If informative speech is to teach, explain, or describe, the goal is audience understanding. The speaker act as an objective educator. Okay, if persuasive speech, to influence belief, attitude, or action, the goal is audience agreement or action. The speaker act as an advocate. Then the next, the structure. If informative speech is usually organized chronologically, topically, and spatially to present fact in a logical, easy to follow sequence. If persuasive speech, often use a problem solution format or Monroe's motivate sequence to build a compelling argument that leads the audience to a specific conclusion. And then the next is delivery. If informative speech, the tone is typically objective, balanced, and impartial. The focus is on conveying information clearly and without bias. And then if persuasive speech, the tone is more passionate, confident, and assertive. The speaker uses emotional appeals and a stronger tone to convince the audience. Okay, so the fourth question is, how do ethos, pathos, and logos work together to create an effective persuasive speech? Okay, so the answer is, ethos, pathos, and logos are the three essential components of persuasive that work in harmony to create a powerful and convincing argument. Okay, if ethos or credibility, this is the foundation. It's answer the question, why should we listen to you? Okay, a speaker establishes ethos through their expertise, trustworthiness, and goodwill. And then the next is, if logos or logic, this is the rational core of the speech. It is the clear, structured argument supported by evidence, fact, and data. Logos provide the intellectual substance. And then the last one is pathos or emotion. This is what makes the audience care about the logic. Its appeal to their value helps fairs and emotional, and then creating a personal connection to the topic. So an effect speech balance all three. Without logos, the speech is emotionally manipulative. Without pathos, it is dry and uninspiring. Without ethos, neither the logic nor the emotion is believable. Okay, and then the fifth question, why is the closing of a ceremonial speech often considered the most memorable part, and what technique make it impactful? Okay, so the answer is, the closing of a ceremonial speech is often the most memorable part due to the recency effect. People tend to remember best what they heard last. So it is the speaker's final opportunity to crystallize the speech core message and leave the audience with a lasting feeling of inspiration, celebration, and reflection. There are 4 techniques to make it impactful. The first is, use a powerful quote. Use a powerful quote. Use the powerful quote that eloquently summarizes the theme. And then the second is, make a callback to the opening statement to give the speech a sense of unity and closure. The third is, issue an inspiring challenge or call to action that encourage the audience to apply the message to their own life. And then the fourth is, summarize with elevated language. So using vivid and memorable phrasing to reinforce the central sentiment. Okay. And then the last question. This is persuasive speech with the topic is political awareness. Should civic education be mandatory for all university students to encourage active participation in democracy? So that is my topic. I will start. Okay. Hello everyone. Thank you for your training in here. So in here I will talk about, should civic education be mandatory for all university students to encourage active participants in democracy? Okay. Look around you. We are in university, a place buzzing with the brightness mind, the future leaders, innovators and problem solvers of our nation. Yet, how many of you can confidently name our local representative? How many of us truly understand the legislative process that shapes the cost of our tuition, the quality of our healthcare, or the state of our environment? Okay. The uncomfortable truth is that for too many of us, the answer is not enough. We are facing a crisis of civic silence. Voter turnout among young people is consistently low, not because of apathy, but because of system that feels complex and inaccessible. Okay, so misinformation spread like wildfire on social media, making it difficult to distinguish fact from fiction. This creates a dangerous disconnect between the people who live in a democracy and the process of democracy itself. But what if we could change that right here on this campus? The solution is simple, yet powerful. Make one semester of civic education mandatory for all university students. Okay. This is not about telling people what to think. It is about technique them how to think critically about the system that govern their life. So a mandatory civic course will equip every single graduate, whether they are engineer, artist, or doctor, with the essential tools of citizenships. It will teach media literacy to identify fake news, explain the function of local and national government, and clarify how every citizen can make their voice heard through voting, advocacy, and community involvement. Imagine the future that's created. Imagine a generation of graduates who don't just enter the workforce, but enter society as informed, engaged, and active participants. A generation that's vote is a generation that votes in local election, not just presidential ones. A generation that can hold its leader accountable because it understands the rules of the game. We will see stronger communities, more responsive policy, and a democracy that is truly powered by the people. The alternative is to continue as we are, allowing the gap between citizens and their government to grow wider, leaving our democracy vulnerable. Then we are at the crossroad. We can either allow civic literacy to be a matter of change, or we can recognize it as a fundamental skill that every citizen deserves. I urge the student here to ask for this education. I urge our faculty and administration to provide it. Let's make a degree from this university a symbol not just of academic achievement, but of active, empowered citizenship. So thank you. Okay, so that's all about my answer of public speaking midterm test. So that's all about mine. Thank you for your listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.